Right. Um,
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Dr. Shay. Let me get my audio fixed. All right. And we are still letting people in the room. So hello, everybody. Hello, hello. And it, I hope that you all are doing fantabulous. All right, and this is, I want to say, like my third session of the day. So it's been an adventurous April 30th. So hello again to everybody. We have people slowly coming in to the room for this wonderful presentation that I'm getting ready to do today. Now, this is, believe it or not, the first time that we've actually done the AI session, a quick version of the session to the general public, because we've done it numerous times before with large groups for different BDOs, but we wanted to actually come forward and do one for small business owners that you all could gain access to, especially with everything that's happening now with AI. It's huge. So technology is definitely going to be the wave of the future. So we are super excited to just share some really cool tools that are available to you as a small business owner. For those of you all who are not familiar with me, hello, I am Dr. Shay Robinson. I am the founder and principal business strategist of MFAD Creative Group. You probably see it behind my fabulous head. We are located in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. We do a lot of your research as well as government contract management for quite a few of your business development organizations, to include the Women's Business Center, Lift Fund, Launch SA, Accenture, SBA. We've done some business with quite a few construction firms, aerospace firms as well. So we kind of run the gamut of large partners who are actually looking to work with small businesses just like yours. So one of the big things that we have noticed that has come up quite often with the BDOs is, as we have progressed into 2025, making sure that the small businesses that are looking to do business with them actually are able to come to the table revolving around opportunities such as AI, accessibility for time management, accessibility for accounts payable, accessibility for just running a project, right? So overall project management. So today's mini workshop, I can't call it a full workshop because there's a plethora of stuff to cover, is all about some of the really cool AI tools that you all have access to as small business owners to scale your business. So the information that I'm going to share with you today, some of it will be brand new. Some of it you might have heard before. Definitely make sure that you take down some of these names so that you can do your own research, right? Because some of these platforms are going to work better for certain business owners as well as verticals. And when I say verticals, I mean industry. So in other words, someone in construction will probably work better on BidNet than somebody that runs a lawn care service, if that makes sense, right? So there's different verticals or industries where certain platforms and systems are going to work a little bit better. So I'm going to share some of my favorite ones that we use with MFAD that's taken off that definitely you all should be aware of. Some of these platforms actually have what they consider like basic programs where it's completely for free at no cost. Others actually have a fee attached to them. So I'm going to share quite a few of them with you. Do not hesitate to take a screenshot. I always tell people, got to save information, right? You can only write so fast within an hour. So we're going to talk about some of the platforms, and I'm also going to show you some of the platforms at work. So you're going to get to see that as well. And as I am talking, please make sure that you use the chat feature. It is up and active. So share where you're currently located, the name of your business, if you have a website, if you have a LinkedIn page, hope you do. Please make sure you share that into the chat feed because I always tell business owners that it's important for you all to literally build bridges with each other so that you all can actually potentially partner on something. You never know. That may happen in the long run. So definitely make sure you put all of your information into the chat window. And hello to wherever you may be coming from. Hello to you all. All right. I see that Bonnie is here. She's in Washington State. Hi, Bonnie. And I hope that the weather's okay up in Washington State. Texas is it's having 4 seasons right now. We've actually been like that the whole entire month of April. So sending good energy as well as good weather your way as well. Oh, good. They're having sunshine today. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. It's a little bit windy here and a little bit of sunshine, but up in our panhandle, they're experiencing severe tornadoes and flooding. It's a lot going on, but Texas is pretty big. So I always tell people we have 4 seasons on a regular basis here. All right. So put your information into the chat feed and let's all connect. Hey, there's Myrna. I know her very well, based here in San Antonio. Fabulous graphic designer with an extensive history of beautiful work. Definitely make sure you all connect with her on LinkedIn. She always drops fabulous golden nuggets for small business owners when it comes to branding and development, quick fixes that you can actually use to make like your website pop, templates, like the cool stuff that Myrna and her team actually come up with. So she definitely is a rock star. So thank you for popping on, Myrna. I hope that you are doing fabulous. And I also see that Wardell Paquette is here. I know him very well as well. He is a fabulous artist located in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. Definitely make sure you check out all of his fabulous pieces of work. And he actually has a piece centered right behind him now that he's turned his camera on that I can see. I have pieces of his collection in my home, so I know him very well. And I am very familiar with his body of work. So he'll probably put his information into the chat feature as well. So share your information so that we can all connect. Oh, and there's Miss Campbell again. That's my buddy from Louisiana. She pops onto quite a few of the trainings. And there's my sorority sister. I see her here as well. Marie, if you're looking for notary services, make sure you hit her up. And she's also a licensed esthetician and loctician as well. So I'm plugging everybody that I see if I know what services that you offer. So definitely make sure you all connect with each other. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some AI stuff, shall we? All right, so as I mentioned before, we are literally going to do a mini deep dive into some of the really cool programs that you all have access to as a small business owner, because as we know, a lot of stuff is changing, right? Not just with us having like a brand new administration, and here in San Antonio, we're also getting like a new mayor because elections, early elections ended yesterday, and then the main election day is next Tuesday. So quite a few small businesses are going to start to feel the effects, if they haven't already, of all of the different changes economically that's going on. And one of the big things that is definitely taking forefront is this huge push with AI. So we came up with the idea to put together a full long session last year for corporate partners. And someone was like, why don't we just throw together something for an hour for small businesses completely at no cost, just talking about some of the tools that everybody should be exposed to. So here we are. All right. So with that being said, for small businesses, you probably run into some of the issues that I actually have listed on this screen, right? The challenge of actually trying to scale your business with limited resources. Maybe you're a one woman or one man show, but you notice that quite a few businesses actually look like they have about 8 employees, when in actuality, it's two, or in some cases, it's one, right? So 9 times out of 10, there's probably some AI attached to that that's getting them over the hump and have them looking like a business that literally is 10 people deep when it actually is two. So AI plays a role in that. So, but it's a challenge when you're literally trying to grow or scale your business. So the solution most definitely is getting on board with some of the strategic AI tools and resources that are available for you as a business owner that can help you effectively and efficiently grow and scale your business. And as I mentioned, quite a few of these different programs are at no cost. Other programs may have a cost, but when you weigh the cost, right? Return on investment, ROI, it actually works out pretty good in your favor. And I'm going to show you examples of all of the things I just mentioned as well. So, I mean, I even gave a little one down here, just a quick one talking about Chat GPT, and I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with that one, to narrow down your RFP. And I'm actually going to show you that for any of y'all who are interested in the GovCon side of the house and how AI works with that. So we're going to dive in to some of the programs without further ado. So here is one of the ones that's definitely on my list, and I'm going to show you the platforms as well once I get through this mini presentation. It's like 10 slides, and then after that, I'm going to be all online. But Gamma is one of the ones that quite a few people are very familiar with. It is a really cool program that small business owners definitely have access to. It ties in your actual resources as you plug them into the system and can build full presentations. And if you notice the presentation that I'm actually showing you all right now, if you look down in the bottom in the right hand corner, it actually says made with Gamma. So we actually use Gamma on our side of the house on a regular basis. So what it does is you can actually bring in information into the system about anything. And literally, it does the research for you. You can tie in white papers. You can bring in data from your own website, your own LinkedIn account, and ask it to create a 5 slide, 10 slide, or even 50 slide pitch deck on that topic or subject. And you can input information on your own. It will actually bring in information from other resources and tools, along with citing where that information and the pictures and images are coming from. So it's just really interesting how Gamma actually works. But yeah, it is centralized to the presentation side of the house. So if you are one of those individuals who has to do presentations on a regular basis, and maybe you're just not that jazzy with presentations, like Canva is great. I love Canva. However, of course, you got to do a lot of the work yourself. Putting the images in, you may not necessarily have them just right. Gamma kind of takes the work out of all of that, right? And their platform, the basic account, is free. So definitely, if you are a small business who may be doing a proposal, or maybe you're just trying to put together a quick little pitch deck for a grant opportunity, and you want to make sure that it looks professional and polished, and maybe your pockets, right, are not necessarily right for you to hire out a professional and spend $5,000 or $10,000 because you're just getting started. So Gamma is a great tool that can actually help you with that process, and I definitely will be going in there and showing you how to utilize it. And as I mentioned, the program works instantly. Like literally, you put in exactly what it is that you're looking for. Not even a minute, 2 minutes tops, it will actually put together a whole entire presentation on whatever it is. You can interchange out the photos, interchange out the verbiage, add your own verbiage, research, bring in more information. So it's a really cool platform to use. You can get the basic account, as I mentioned, completely at no cost. I believe up to 10 slides. At no cost for the program. And then if you get into like the 20s, it goes up. There's like packages or tiers, as it's known. All right, so my next one that's tied into today's subject is all about Cleat Us. Cleat Us has turned into one of our favorite AI tools for my GovCon folks, which is where we actually fall like 85% of our business is GovCon. So in the chat, just out of curiosity, I'll ask two questions. Has anyone ever heard of Gamma? And that is GAMMA, which I just talked about. If you have, please let me know. And if you are on the GovCon side of the house, have you ever heard of Cleat-Us? And it is actually spelled just like I stated, CLEAT and then US or us. Okay, someone says they've used Gamma before. Okay, that's Myrna. Okay, so good. So, and Myrna, just out of curiosity, and you're in graphic design, so I'm pretty sure for you is pretty easy to navigate. But do you think that it's pretty comparable for any small business owner to use? Because for me, it's pretty straightforward. And you can put it in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, you can. I'm putting her on the spot, y'all. Very user friendly. Okay, there she goes. So yeah, it is very user friendly. So definitely make sure you check it out. Once you're done with this webinar with us today, just give it a spin, as I like to say, to see what it's all about. So Cleat-Us is our other big tool that we use here on a regular basis, heavy AI driven. And I'm actually going to pull up Cleat-Us for you as well, so you can see what that actually looks like. This is for, as I mentioned, those business owners that are heavy on the GovCon side of the house. So what Cleat-Us actually does, it is a manual contract search tool. So if you are literally looking to work with any state agency, any university, any federal government agency, so not only does it pull from SAM, which is your for awards management, it also pulls opportunities from all of your major school districts in all 50 states. It also pulls from all of your major college institutions in all 50 states and your cities. I believe it is 20,000 plus as far as the population of the city. They have to have an actual procurement portal for them to pull from, and it centralizes it. Now, Cleat-Us does have a trial run that's completely at no cost. However, the main platform itself does have a significant cost that is attached to it. We utilize Cleat-Us on a daily basis. So for us, it was worth the actual fee that we paid for, especially tied to what it is that we do, for us to have access to all of those contracting opportunities. The beauty of Cleat-Us is not only does it centralize all of those government contracting opportunities for you, but it also helps you with building out your particular proposal. It actually scores you, right? When you actually open up your account, it asks you to upload your cap statement, previous contracts that you've awarded, a link to your website. It builds out a whole profile for your actual company. And then as RFPs drop into the system, say from like Texas A&M, Harvard, New York City procurement team, it actually gives it scores. So scores that are in the green means that you'll get an email alert letting you know that, hey, this is in your wheelhouse. You really should apply for this. Scores that are in the red are like, yeah, nah, you need to leave this alone. So it's kind of like a version of bid or no bid, taking out the bid or no bid form. For those of you all who are old heads like I am, and yes, I did say old heads, when it comes to bids or no bids, where it used to be a spreadsheet and you would have to do the computations yourself, Cleat-Us does it for you. And it's pretty accurate, because that was another question I got from someone. How accurate is it? Very accurate. It cuts down on the time as far as researching your RFPs. It also cuts down on the time on you putting together a proposal. I actually was able to put together an entire proposal for a client on Monday in under 1 hour for $250,000 and have it submitted, because it was due yesterday, which was Tuesday. And they didn't think they were going to be able to pull it off, because we found it at the last minute. Found it on Monday, put together a proposal in under an hour because they had their stuff centralized. That's a whole nother workshop. And then had it submitted by the deadline, which was yesterday. So definitely make sure, if you get a chance, check out Cleat-Us, and I'll show you that program running in a second. The other one that I definitely want to make sure that I mention is one of our other fan favorites that's been around for a while. It is called ClickUp. So ClickUp is a really cool project management tool. Most people are probably familiar with it when it first came out. One of its biggest competitors is Monday, and then Honeybook is another one. So very similar in the fact that they are management tools. So if you are like a hairstylist, a barber, loctician, you probably have appointments, the stuff that needs to be scheduled out. Or if you're in construction, you have actual projects that you're working on. So depending on where you are as far as your vertical, you will find a project management tool that works best for you. In our particular case, what we have found out is that ClickUp has been our go-to source for all of our projects. And I'll actually show you our ClickUp portal. And in our actual portal, you will see that all of, or not all, because some of them I'm going to redact, but some of our clients that are listed have their own personal files. And within those files, not only do we have access, but our clients also have access to upload information. Our clients can see our calendar so they know when we are available. They can see where their appointments are. They get alerts on their ClickUp. We could do Gantt charts in ClickUp. We can also do a full build out of a project, preconception, actual R&D, actual work of the project, storming, forming, and norming, as some people call it. All of that can be done in ClickUp. And the AI tool that's in it actually will alert you when something is out of order. So in other words, if you're tempted to double book, if a project is not on task, it'll send you an alert to keep you informed, to make sure that you are aware, hey, your project is running behind a day or so. You might want to take a look at this, move this over here, which is really cool. So ClickUp is a really cool AI tool that we definitely tell people about on a regular basis. We've actually had clients that have actually started their own ClickUp portfolio outside of working with us. That has been beneficial because for them, they actually are able to assign different projects to team members that are actually on their team. So if you all are familiar with Basecamp, which I am still an avid lover of, and Myrna can tell you this because I use it for our convergence group, they are kind of like a AI version of Basecamp. So not as heavy as far as you having to input gobs of stuff, but the AI tool does all of that work for you. Very structured, very streamlined, sends alerts to your email box, or if you have a plug-in on your computer like we do, or an extension like a Google extension like we do, we actually get alerts on our actual laptops for any updates revolving around ClickUp. So we're going to give them a spin around the block too, just so you can see what they look like as well. All right, so I'm checking in the chat and I'm trying to see if anybody is familiar with any of these crazy programs that I'm mentioning, because I have quite a few that I'm covering. But let me know if you've used ClickUp before in the chat feed as well. Okay, here's one that I know everybody knows, and this is Chat GPT. You probably have heard oodles of information about this program. We actually do use Chat GPT, but not what you think. As a college professor, I know students are tempted to use it to submit work. That's a whole nother animal in itself. But let me tell you how we utilize ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a really cool tool, free version, that you can actually build entire templates off of to make sure that your messaging is coming across correctly. Say you're submitting a proposal and you want to make sure that the language, right, is up to standard. Or you are submitting out like an email to somebody that's a cold call. So maybe you've never met this procurement manager, but you want to make sure that the tone, right, is set. You could go into ChatGPT, go into the settings feature, change out the education level. You can actually change the messaging from informal to formal to business. You can actually go Chat GPT 4.0, which is like a whole nother animal in itself, to make sure that your messaging reflects what it is that you're trying to get it across and also reflects your business where it currently is. We actually use ChatGPT on a regular basis when it comes to our RFPs. Because remember, I mentioned we're heavy on the GovCon space. So instead of us actually reading all 90 pages, because sometimes it's a lot, we will either upload it into Cletus, because we do that on a regular basis. If there's something that's not in there, which is rare, we'll use it. But our main go-to for reviews, quick reviews, still is ChatGPT. And the reason why is because it is super quick with actually bringing in documents that might have been 12 pages long, or in some cases 82 pages long, and taking it down to 3 pages. So it literally brings in small chunks of information that we can use that's clear and concise. So it gives us the key factors, the key points that we definitely want to be aware of. So I'm going to show you one that we actually uploaded yesterday, RFP and show you what we did to actually bring that RFP that was, I think, 65 pages down to 2 pages with the key factors, along with doing a full build out for our projected budget on it. So all of that, believe it or not, ChatGPT can actually help you with that. So it's a really cool tool that you definitely want to make sure that you get familiar with in the long run. So that's my spiel about ChatGPT. All right. So as you all know, right now, as we're sitting here, you may see something that says like Read AI. There's all of these other really cool programs that pop on. So we are infamous for our Read AI platform. It is running in the background right now. These are those assistants, the virtual assistance tools that you all have access to, which is great, right? So I have 3 that's listed on here, actually 4. So Otter is one that's really cool that everybody is probably familiar with. Jasper is another great one. And then Fireflies and Read AI. These programs all capture notes for you. They can transcribe. With us for our Read AI account, we actually have it linked up to our email. So it actually sends us alerts for stuff that we're supposed to take care of that was mentioned as action items from previous calls that we had that were recorded. It actually alerts us. It also does daily reads for us. And my daily read virtual assistant's name is David. He'll pop on the screen when I turn on my computer, and he literally says, "Good morning, Dr. Shea. Here is the items that you have planned for the day. Oh, by the way, here are the action items that are still outstanding for the week." So we love Read AI. So I highly recommend if you are a one-man or one-woman show, or if you just need a virtual assistant to help you kind of navigate your email box, your meetings, your calendar, because they sync up to all of that, definitely make sure you look into what I consider virtual AI tools to scale your business. And this is 4 of them that we're very familiar with: Otter, Jasper, Fireflies, and Read AI. We actually use Read AI on a regular daily basis on everything from email to our calendar, to our meetings, to our one-on-one sessions. We even add notes into Read AI when it's not virtual, just so it can capture it. And here's something else that's really cool about our Read AI account. Sometimes we'll register for an event, like we'll be double booked, and if we don't have an actual role, we'll let our Read AI program attend the meeting for us. So like right now, I'm on here with you all hosting, right? So I'm talking, hosting this class. Part of our Read AI is running on this side of the platform, but we also have a second arm of Read AI that actually is in attendance at the National Minority Supplier Development Council end of the month meeting that's happening from 4 to 5. So even though I am not in attendance and neither is anyone from the team, we're still going to get access to all of the information from that actual meeting because it's going to capture it for us because it's sitting in the room on our behalf. So with that being said, anybody in here, if you share with us, please, in the chat, any of the platforms that you currently use for your small business revolving around virtual assistance tools. Do I have any? Otter, Jasper, Firefly, Read AI, Phantom is another one as well that I'm familiar with. Do anybody on here use any of the ones that I just mentioned, or maybe a new one that is not on my list that you would like to share? Put it into the chat feed, so I'd be curious to know. Let us know what you have. Okay, so Wardell says that he uses Otter. She told me that earlier today, too. So, yeah, so if you have any of the tools, definitely share some of them in there as well. All right, so as I'm winding down before I start getting into the programs and showing you some of the goodies, let's talk a little bit about the step-by-step approach when we say get into AI, because for some people it's kind of scary, right? We're not big on sharing data. Maybe it's a fraud situation. Sometimes just because of all of the stuff you see with scammers, it can get a little scary. Highly understand, highly agree. Make sure that you actually identify the pain points, right? So do you even need it? Because for some businesses, honestly, you might not. But a lot of them, a good 95% of them do, right? But identify some of your pain points. Maybe you need additional hands, i.e. tying into those virtual assistant programs we just mentioned, right? You can't keep your calendar straight. You can't check your email boxes quick enough. Our Read AI program pushes all of our important emails because there are people from our contacts list. It flushes them to the top. Something as simple as that saves me time, right? So identify some of your pain points that you may have. Somebody said that they had to buy a chat GPT on Monday 3.0 wasn't good enough. I might actually show you some interesting things about that, Wardell. Interesting. Research solutions, right? Choose an AI tool that matches your business needs. And I mentioned this, right? Vertical. What is your vertical or industry that you're in? And find a program. Do the free trial first if there's a fee, right? Try it out. Make sure that it's conducive to what it is that you do. Because I have friends that use HoneyBook. They love it. I have another friend that's huge on Monday. My little happy self, I live, as you all know, with ClickUp, right? ClickUp and Basecamp. Those are my two. And they're all project management tools, but because of what each of us do, they serve a different purpose. So definitely make sure you take that into consideration. Pilot and implementation, as I just mentioned, test them out, right? Spin them around the block, as we like to say. Make sure that it's going to work good for you. And prime example is what Wardell just said about ChatGPT 3.0 wasn't good enough, right? For his vertical and what it is that he's doing. So he literally had to purchase a higher tier of the program to make sure that he was getting accessibility to what he needed to run his business, which makes perfect sense. And then last on my little list is making sure that you optimize the actual programs that you're using. So monitor the programs, make sure it's conducive to you. And I mentioned that with ChatGPT, how you can go into settings, change out the features for what it is that you need. Same thing is true with Read AI. Some people have Read AI and it may not necessarily actually have a program that's attached to it where it captures everything, right? Because they don't have it set up that way. For us, ours does. It captures action items, it captures the video, it captures a full transcript. There's a notes section. It actually captures the amount of time that I talk compared to the other person that's in the room. If it's a one-on-one, it scores me on that. And just in case y'all are curious, yes, I'm a talker. It tells me that on a regular basis. Uh, so, so make sure that you're finding a program that optimizes best for you so that you're able to spend your money wisely when you do have to purchase, if you choose to, if you decide to get out of the free tier. And also make sure that it's a return on investment, right? So, because some of these programs, when you purchase them, they're like $300 on the lower end, all the way up to 20 grand on the higher end. I kid you not. So you definitely want to make sure that you find one that is conducive to your needs and what it is that you are attempting to do. But I love to tell people about having quantifiable results. So here's something that happened with one of our clients. So when they actually pivoted over to AI a lot heavier than what they were back in, I think it was the middle of January, they saw that their cost reduction went down 30%. Because time, right? Time became their friend. And I tell people all the time is monetary. A lot of people think that's strange to say, but it's true, right? When you're able to manage your time better, you'll see that if you're trying to save money, operational costs, it will reduce, right? Your sales can possibly increase because you're able to get stuff out effectively and a lot quicker. Before I hopped on here with you all, I probably logged on about 30 minutes earlier. Within that 30-minute block, like from 3:30 to 4, I actually put together a whole entire proposal and sent it out to somebody. Whole entire thing, right? So you'd be surprised how quickly you're able to actually improve not just your sales, but your overall timing of stuff, customer satisfaction, making sure that you are getting exposed to some of the hiccups that you may have with your firm. The overall language comes across a lot crisper for you as well. And then lastly, as I've just mentioned multiple times already, time. Time definitely plays a factor. You're able to actually save a lot of time on many of the nuances that you do as a business owner. Once you get some AI tools in your back pocket that do a lot of the work for you, that understands your voice and what it is that you are attempting to do. I mean, something as straightforward as having Read AI or another one of the virtual programs pull all of your contacts in and knowing when those contacts pop up in your email to flush them forward saves you a lot of time, right? So definitely make sure you take that into consideration when we talk about the ROI that's attached to AI programs, right? So because they're huge, I always tell people it's all about embracing stuff, right? When we talk about fueling growth, because that's where we're at with these programs that people are coming out with, and then scaling strategically. And it makes you future ready, because I hope we don't turn into a situation of like RoboCop or iRobot or any other robot movies that are out there, because some of those are kind of scary. But I do hope that we progress along, and with us progressing as far as artificial intelligence goes, we're able to keep up, right? As small business owners, and the time is now for you to make sure that you're starting to get exposed to some of the tools and platforms that are available to you, right? All right, so without further ado, let me show you some of the platforms in action. And I always love when I'm able to do that. Okay. And show really cool things to you all. Give me 2 seconds. I'm having to close out oodles of windows here. And I am going to open up this one. All right. So I am going to just randomly pick the first one that I have the window open for, and it is ChatGPT. Good. I'll go with them first. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. This one. All right, so I mentioned earlier that we use ChatGPT on a regular basis for literally winding down RFPs. So this was actually done on yesterday. So this is our ChatGPT. I mentioned that we're heavy on the GovCon side. So here you can actually see what I did in the platform. So here's the RFP. So I literally put on here, review the attached RFP from TxDOT, term it down to, and it should be trim, but it picked up on that. Trim it down to the main key factors and points that MFAD should be aware of if they decide to go into subcontracting with the social being, because we're actually looking to possibly look at this contract working with Veronica and her team. Here comes ChatGPT. Here are the key takeaways and factors that MFAD Creative Group should consider for this actual RFP. It literally gave me the key details of the RFP. It also told me what to pay attention to if I was potentially looking to sub from the scope of work. It discusses the hub participation, the evaluation criteria from the RFP, required documents that I have to submit for the RFP, and then how it is to be submitted. It then goes into suggested actions that I should take if I'm actually interested in working with the social being and going after this RFP. I then came back and asked what should be the subcontractor budget range if I was potentially looking at this RFP. It then pulled out from the RFP different factors tied into the budget. It notated that revolving around this particular RFP, no contract value was provided, which it was not, because I read all over it. So in other words, there was no dollar amount mentioned by TxDOT. But what it does is it actually built its own budget framework from previous contracts that were similar and in alignment, right? So it literally builds out the whole program for you. You can then look at the strategic notes that it put, and it also included a draft that's in Excel that you can pull into the proposal as well, right? And all of this can be updated, changed out, and everything. But this is how we use ChatGPT on a regular basis when we talk about trimming the fat, particularly when you're looking at like RFPs on the GovCon side of the house, because that's the main thing that we use ChatGPT for on a regular basis, right? All right, so that is my spiel on ChatGPT. Yes, it is free. They do have a basic account that you do not have to pay for. Yes, there are other tiers that you can pay for, as it was mentioned earlier with, I think it was Wardell talking about how he purchased the higher tier on Monday. So get familiar with ChatGPT, play with it, right? Get exposed to the platform, see what all of the fabness is and what it can actually do, because it is a tool that does numerous things. Just be very mindful of the prompts, right? Because it learns from what you plug into it. So definitely make sure that you are mindful of that when you actually start the ChatGPT rabbit hole. These three little dots that are over in the corner is where you can actually archive or delete different information. It also has a feature right here that says explore and then customize. That is where you will go when you want to customize your chat GPT. As I mentioned, the language as far as formal, informal, business, however you would like to structure it. You can actually put that into the system. So definitely make sure that you are mindful of that as well. So that is my chat GPT spiel for all of you on here. Okay, and Miss Campbell, I use this for all my SOPs and office paperwork. Oh yeah, it's a great tool, especially if you have many different arms or hats that you're trying to wear. And I always like to tell people to still read over, right, the information, add stuff, take away stuff, update stuff, because it's pulling from all over. So you want to make sure that the messaging is conducive, and that you're literally getting the information that you need into the program. So the more stuff that you put into it, the better the results are going to be that you actually get from your Chat GPT platform. All right, so that is Chat GPT. All right, I mentioned Gamma earlier, and that's actually where we currently are with the presentation that I just showed you all a while ago. We're in Gamma. So we are literally in Gamma. This is their website. Make sure I was showing y'all the right screen. Yes. Okay. So this is Gamma, and I'm actually already logged in. This is the platform I told you all earlier about, where you could go for really cool presentations. And when you go to the home feature, this is where you can see different presentations that you've built out into the Gamma, I guess you could say, portal that you all have access to. So when you log on, and as you can see, I have the free account, so I did not pay for this. This is free. You can see right here is the actual presentation that I just showed you all. I literally built the whole entire thing, pulled in the actual information into the system, and it built out the program for me. So this is Gamma and what it looks like. So in case you're curious how it works, let me show you real quickly how to use Gamma. You're going to go right where it says create a new presentation. It then gives you the idea to either paste in text, generate one, or import a file. So you have options. You, in most cases, will probably paste some text, but let's do an AI version of it, right? So it's going to create a one-line prompt. We're going to put it in, and then it's going to generate a whole presentation for us, right? Notice that it can actually do a presentation, a web page, a document, or post to your social for you. So let's come up with something interesting. Do I have somebody to put something in the chat? Let's see. I'm just going to type something strange. Create a deck travel company Okay. And after I put that in there, notice that it has cards. So that's how many slides you want in the deck. I'm going to do 8. And as you can see, when you go up, of course, that's when you go through the different tiers and you have to pay a fee. So you can actually choose the amount of cards that you want. So I'm going to leave it at 8 because 8 is free. You could do default language, which in my case is English. And then all you got to do after that is just hit generate outline. So what it's going to do now is it's going to literally, as you can see in seconds, generate a whole entire outline about this company called World Traveler about traveling, right? So once you look over it, you can either delete, as you see, you got trash can right there. If it makes sense, you're like, yeah, this is pretty good. Mission, destination. You can change it out if you choose to. But say, for instance, you're good with this. All you do then is just hit generate. Once you hit generate, it is now going to create a full presentation of 8 cards in a deck for you. And it's generating it, as you can see on the screen. Ooh, I actually like that landing slide. That's cute. So you all are seeing real time Gamma, right? This is AI in action. It literally is building a full presentation for our travel company, which I don't own, by the way, that I gave a name to actually explain why people should hire like this World Traveler is the name of the company, right? So it's going to pull data in about all these really cool places to travel, what you get from traveling, all this interesting stuff. All right, so let's scroll to the top and we'll take a look at what Gamma just created for us. Okay, so landing slide number 1 actually introduces the company. Welcome to World Traveler, your passport to extraordinary experiences. We craft curated adventures and personalized journeys. I didn't type any of that. You all were my witness. It came up with this by just deep diving online. It's crazy. Whole presentation in under what? 3 minutes, right? And as you scroll through, it gives you like the mission statement. This is where you as a business owner could go in. You could change out the photos up here at the top. You actually can utilize AI even more to actually change out different pieces of it. It just popped up. There you go. To change out different pieces on the presentation. The colors can be changed. The images can be changed. And of course, you can add take away words. You probably see me typing on here now, just a whole bunch of gibberish, but literally pull stuff from your own website, cap statement, put it into the document, make it yours. It pulls out pictures that are royalty free. So in other words, you can actually utilize them. You don't have to worry about verifying where the images came from. Like they're good. They've already been checked. So you have access to Gamma. So this literally is what Gamma does. It builds full presentations for you. And as I mentioned, this one was at no cost. It's 8 slides. I believe 15 is the cutoff. And as you can see, you can do it in presentation mode right here. You can share it with other individuals, put it on your social sites, and of course you can download it as well into PowerPoint. All right. All right, so next on my list, and I'm gonna close that out so I can save a little bandwidth. A little slow because I had all these programs actually open at the same time. So this is our Read AI platform, as I mentioned earlier. So this is our actual platform of Read AI. We use Read AI for just about everything, as I mentioned. When we go into our main page, it should load up shortly. You will see that we actually have a plethora of meetings that's listed on there. And there we go. All right, took a while for it to load. All right, so you see we have a plethora of meetings that we've had in the past that's loaded onto our Read AI. Calendar is built on here as well. The coaching that I mentioned earlier, it does that as well. Recommendations, you can create meeting policies. You can actually submit information. It does full transcripts. So just out of curiosity, here's the one with me and Veronica from the Social Being. We had a meeting, and I'm not going to play the whole video, but you can see what the actual screen looks like. So here is our engagement. So here is a summary that can be copied, edited. You see the people who were in attendance, which is me and her. I can even share with other people if we choose to. Here are the notes. You get the transcript. It breaks it into chapters that you can remove just by hitting the little copy and paste feature on the right-hand side. So it literally gives you key questions that popped up as well, potential answers. There's notes that's built into it. So this is a Read AI in a synopsis. It is one of our favorite tools to use on the virtual assistant side of the house. Now, I do have the premium feature, right, in our Read AI because we use it so much, but it is one of our favorite tools. And as I'm talking, notice in the corner this little arrow, right? That is our ClickUp. So our ClickUp is running in the background as well. As I mentioned, we literally use ClickUp for just about everything. So say, for instance, with this actual Read AI that I'm in now with Veronica, if there's some information in here that needs to be sent over to like a file on ClickUp, we literally can open up our ClickUp file and you'll see it pop up right here on the screen. And then it will actually give me the option to put it in a notepad, send it via email, or screenshot it to an actual folder that is actually in our ClickUp project management tool. And literally you just attach to task. That's all you got to do. So all of these programs that we're showing, we actually utilize them and they buddy up with each other. So definitely make sure you take a look at Read AI. And since I mentioned ClickUp, let me just go ahead and go on over to ClickUp. So this is ClickUp. Let me see if I can log in real quick because I was in it on the other side. And as I'm logging in and it's getting situated, if anybody would like to put anything in the comments feed, please do, because I'm curious to know if anybody has heard of any of these platforms. I know people have heard of Gamma, but if you've heard of or used ClickUp, or if you've used a version of Read AI, because I know that Otter was mentioned, there's quite a few different ones that are available to small business owners. So definitely make sure you take a look at them. And ClickUp, ours is big, so it normally takes a hot minute for it to load all the way because of all of the stuff that we actually have in it. So this is the main ClickUp platform for MFAD, and as you can see, it's literally opening up. It has a lot of stuff that's actually in here. When you go down the side, you'll see that we have features, these little locks on it, means that it is locked between us and our client, and that's the only people that have access to it. And as you can see, we keep everybody locked up, right? On the actual platform. So there is just a plethora of stuff that you can put into your actual ClickUp files, from actual classes that you're hosting, meetings that you're hosting. You can even do accounts payable, accounts receivable. So there's invoice tools that you can use in your ClickUp program as well. It just depends on how you have it structured and what it is that you are attempting to do. But this is like our main landing page. And once again, real cool tool to use for small business owners that you all have access to. You see that you can create calendars, you have Gantt charts in here. And this is for like each of your clients, or you could do it by project. It's completely up to you how you have it structured as the small business owner. And for us, we do ours by client, as you can see on the left-hand side. And then we also have a what we call the main MFAD capacity hub, where we actually have additional information that's strictly revolving around us. So that's ClickUp in a nutshell with some of its offerings. Someone I designed for use ClickUp to send projects to me. Works great. Yeah, it does. It's a really cool tool. So definitely make sure you check them out with all of the stuff that they have. Okay, so I'm winding down to my last two favorite ones, and I did that one already. All right, so I am going to show you all a notebook LM. Is anybody familiar with them? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. All right, so let me see if I can log in because it looked like it kicked me all the way out. Okay, I am still in there. Okay, the page just looked a little strange when I first landed on there. All right, so this is Notebook, and I am going to show you all what is cool about this. And I'm actually probably going to do a one from scratch just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this one was not in my actual presentation because it's so much going on with Notebook LM. So Notebook LM is actually ran by Google. Right? Let me put that out there first. So, you know, it comes from a reputable company. It is stateside. And so is Read AI. I got to make sure I put that out there for them too. And so is Cletus. So majority of all, actually, I think all of the programs I mentioned today are all U.S. based companies. So I'm going to make sure I put that out there first of all. So with Notebook LM, what's cool about them is that it is a 3-step process that I absolutely love. So you literally can create your own podcast without you even having to do a podcast via Notebook LM. All right. So it is a 3-step process. You literally will upload the first step, sources. So you will add sources for it to pull from. The second window in the center is your chat. This is where you will actually give it prompts, and it will feed off of the sources that you put into it to give you a response. And then the last step that's listed on here is attached to you actually creating a studio, actual studio following a studio clip, a podcast, 15 to 20 minutes, where it literally will have two individuals that is actually having a full conversation on whatever it was that you put into the system. This is really cool for small businesses because this is where you can actually add stuff like your website, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have any white paper, previous presentations, your cap statement, you will literally load all of that information into the system, and it will spin sources for you. So the one that I did on April the 24th was attached to AI, right? Which is what we're talking about today. So all I did was add all of these really cool sources. You can either add your own or click discover, and it will add additional ones for you. So since I have this one already started, and for the, you know, sacred of time, I'm going to hit discover, and I'm going to put in here new tools for AI 2025. And I'm going to let the program do the walking for me. I literally just put new tools for AI 2025. I'm going to hit submit, and the discovery tool and notebook is going to pull all of these really cool articles, websites about AI tools. So here you got the 50 best AI tools for 2025, and it has select all. So let's do a deselect, and I'm going to select my own. So I'm going to put this one in there, the 21 best generative AI tools, that one too. Had a big sneeze there that came out of nowhere. All right, computer vision trends and adoption of artificial intelligence. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so I selected 3 different sources, and I'm going to do an import. And you'll see over in the corner right here that it's actually bringing those new sources to the source tab. Now they're added, right? So now I have them added into the actual source file, and now I can actually do a creation of a brand new question. I can have it create a white paper. I can then take that same tool and literally have it roll out a full podcast about AI benefits and the hot tools of 2025. So that is how you would use Notebook LM Google. And once again, no cost. This actual program, with what I just showed you, there isn't a fee for Notebook LM Google. This is the free account. I did not pay for this. If you have a Google account, you can actually open up a Notebook LM account at no cost. So want to put that out there, and it is ran and backed by Google. So definitely make sure you check out Notebook LM, add them to your list. All right, my good people. The last one on my list is our favorite tool that we just got addicted to, that is attached to the wonderful world of procurement, and it is for businesses that are heavy on the RFP side of the house. If you are looking for a tool that is a all-in-one capture device that will help you with building out your platform, then let me introduce you to Cletus, right? So this is our actual Cletus landing page for MFAD, and I'm going to go over some of the quick things first. Right, so this is the main landing page. You even see that it says MFAD Procurement Manager up at the top. Some of the items that I mentioned earlier that we absolutely love that assist us with the bid or no bid include the fact that once you land on here, as you all can see, it literally says opportunities, right? So when you create your Cletus account, it's going to ask you for a lot of stuff. You have to be approved. Okay, let me start there, because it actually small businesses. Some small businesses, when you put in information for your application, it will actually tell you that you're not a good fit, right? So maybe you're not heavy on the GovCon side of the house, so it's just it wouldn't make sense for you to pay for this program. But for us, because of what we do, it was obvious, right? So you're gonna have to put in your cap statement, your website, previous RFPs that you might have submitted for, awarded RFPs that you won, any white paper, and it builds a whole entire profile of opportunities off of that, along with your NISC numbers, which is your commodities codes that you work up under. On a daily basis, you will get alerts to your email address that you registered with that shows you your opportunities that are in the green. So right now, as you can see on our profile, we have, I think it's like 3 opportunities that are sitting in here that are new, that have dropped in, and you'll see that they're in the green with their score, 90, 91, and then an 83. All right, and I'm going to now open one up so you can see it a little bit more in detail. So let's look at the aviation program consultant, because this is actually one that we're interested in. When I click this open, Not only will Cletus show me the score again, which it did, and it shows, us at an 83, but it also tells me why we would be a good fit for this particular opportunity. And it also will give us a deep dive into the NIST numbers, who's soliciting it, the response date, the estimated contract size, like all of that information. The actual SOW is pulled from it, everything. On the right-hand side, you'll notice that it will actually show questions that you could possibly ask. So, like for general information, explain the scope of work of this contract. You literally could just click on it and just hit send message. Cletus will then respond to your question by diving into the RFP and pulling that information out for you. So, like right now, you saw that it was thinking with the little dots and it's already giving me an answer, right? That's how quick it runs, which is bananas. You can also create your own questions. So you don't necessarily have to utilize the ones that it has here because those are just ideas that it's giving you, but you can actually create your own. Ask about pricing. You have access to all of that in this actual platform. You will also notice that up at the top of the platform, see if I can this, there we go. At the top of the platform, it has where it says start building. You will click there when you're actually ready to start building your proposal. So it will actually help you through that process. And for us, we've actually already started building the actual proposal. So these little tabs up here on the ribbon, they actually mean something, right? We have it flagged. We have the contract overview, and then you have it where you actually can click on the button and it will take you to the actual proposal. So as you can see, we have already started building this whole entire proposal out with the help of Cletus for this actual opportunity. So you literally can write information manually, pull information over. It will update your information once again, word salad to make it be more clear and concise. And you can also submit the document depending on who it is going to. It will actually submit it over to you, or it will have the link for the agency and you can submit on their portal as well. It has different options, right? And of course, there is a knowledge hub. So once you get exposed to Cletus, if for some reason, you're running into some hiccups, you got questions, they have actual classes that you can attend completely for free, which is really cool as well. So I could go into a deep dive of Cletus, but that is Cletus in a short synopsis of some of the things that this actual platform offers to you. As you can see, it's a really cool tool that you can literally search for oodles of different contracts from all over the United States, all 50 states, and they do have some stuff in the Bahamas as well. So the territories are included. There are no international contracts per se, unless the international agency is working with someone stateside. Then it will pop up in this system. But as you can see, it's very straightforward to use. You can look up keywords, NIST numbers, set-asides by state, by countries is listed on here, but it's not that many. They have to actually be doing work with the U.S. in order for them to be into this actual system. Even the dollar amount size can be put into Cletus as well. So that is another really cool tool that you all have access to. There is a free trial. Once the free trial is over, there is a fee for you to actually have access to the program because it's like a full build out application process for you to actually be a member up under Cletus. Okay, my good people, I hope that I have not talked your ears off. I am 3 minutes over. I think I lost maybe like 2 or 3 people with the information, but hopefully they'll get a recording. But thank you all so much for hopping on with me today. It is 5:03, so 3 minutes left, or I should say 3 minutes after the time I was supposed to be done. But I hope I shared some vital information with you all. Please, please, please make sure you hop online, check out these tools. A lot of them have basic programs that are at no cost, or they have a trial period like Cletus where you can actually utilize them, get familiar with them, and decide whether or not it's for you. A lot of stuff is changing, and I want you all to make sure that you are successful in all of the endeavors that you have, especially as you continue to grow your business. So you are extremely welcome, and enjoy the rest of your fabulous Wednesday, my good people. Get yourself something delicious to eat. If you're in San Antonio, enjoy Fiesta. because that is happening, I think, all the way through next Sunday. So be safe out there. Thanks again. And of course, always, if you ever need to reach me, you all know how to find me. My name is Dr. Shay, also known as Dr. Bridge Builder. I'm easy to find. Shoot me an email, drbridgebuilder@managementforaday.com. Just visit us on our website, which is managementforaday.com, or hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm there all the time. Myrna will tell you that all the time on LinkedIn. But take care of yourself, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.